Clyde Carl Wilkerson, a name etched in the dark history of American crime, a man who started with petty theft and ended as a confirmed serial killer, leaving a trail of victims across 2 states and decades of unsolved misery. Born November 10, 1938 in Willows, California, Wilkerson's early criminal life was a revolving door of burglary and theft, but soon the nonviolent crimes would give way to something more sinister: violent assault and murder. June 6, 1965, the night Clyde Carl Wilkerson graduated to his first known murder. The victim, 19-year-old Cheryl Bennett in El Cajon, California. Cheryl was strangled with a curtain cord. In a horrifying detail, her 2-year-old son was asleep in the very next room. The crime was only discovered when neighbors found the child wandering the apartment complex alone. The case went cold, remaining a terrifying mystery for decades. Just 2 weeks later, on June 20th, 1965, Wilkerson struck again in El Cajon, this time a double attack. Louis and Lola Mercer, ages 62 and 57, were in their new apartment when Wilkerson climbed through an open window. He fatally bludgeoned 62-year-old Louis Mercer with a wrench, raining down over 20 blows. Then he sexually assaulted Louis's wife, Lola, causing severe brain damage. Fortunately, Lola's screams alerted neighbors who intervened and likely saved her life. The California cases went unsolved. Wilkerson was convicted of a separate sexual assault in Arkansas in 1976 and served time, but his horrific murders remained cloaked in darkness until 1999. The El Cajon Police Department reopened the investigation into Cheryl Burnett's death. Modern forensic science provided the breakthrough. After 34 years, forensic scientists recovered intact sperm cells from a bed sheet at the crime scene. The DNA profile was run through the national database and produced a perfect match to Clyde Carl Wilkerson. Additional evidence is saliva on an envelope seal from a separate, similar case, further solidifying the link. The monsters of the past were now identified. By 1975, Wilkerson was in Oklahoma and his violence continued, targeting young women. February 5, 1975, Geraldine Martin was abducted from the parking lot of a Tulsa junior college. 3 weeks later, her body was found in a vacant apartment. She had been raped and strangled. Decades later, DNA evidence would confirm Wilkerson was the killer. April 24, 1975, the body of a 16-year-old runaway Marian Hope Rosenbaum was discovered. She had over 65 stab wounds and a sign of sexual assault. Disturbingly, her breasts were mutilated, a signature also seen in the murder of Geraldine Martin. August 27, 1975, Suzanne Oakley disappeared during her morning run near an Arkansas river, and her body was found later beaten, choked, stabbed, and sexually assaulted. In 2004, Wilkerson was formally linked to Geraldine Martin's murder and pleaded guilty. He was strongly suspected of the murders of Rosenbaum and Oakley, but without conclusive evidence, he was never charged for those specific crimes. They officially remain unsolved. While his name was never fully cleared of all suspicion, one thing was certain: Clyde Carl Wilkerson was brought to justice for the crimes that could be proven. On July 12, 2016, at the age of 77, the convicted serial killer died in prison. The cases of Marian Hope Rosenbaum and Susan Oakley serve as a chilling reminder that even with a prime suspect identified, true justice sometimes remains agonizingly out of reach.